howdy all, grab yourself a drink, it is time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today is day 8 of spoiler season for patch 3.19 and for the upcoming Lake of Kalandra expansion. We've got one Divination card and we've got one reworked unique to go through, so let's discuss that, as well as one other minor piece of news that came up as well. So firstly we have Mokou's Embrace, which is getting overhauled. This is a unique item that you have probably not been looting for a while. It's something that does reward you for being on fire, which is an interesting design, but it doesn't do enough of that. Mokou's Embrace is getting some higher stats as well as a couple of other changes. It's going much more all in on the theme of you want to be on fire and you will be paid off for it. Fair amount of resist, nothing special, nothing really to write home about. 35% increased attack speed while ignited, 34% increased cast speed while ignited. We don't know what these numbers are actually going to range between, but these are fairly high numbers. In fact, they're higher than anything else you're going to get on a ring. How do you get yourself on fire? Well, Mokou's Embrace comes along to the rescue there as well. 2 lines relate to increasing enemies' ability to set you on fire. 25% chance to be ignited, and all damage taken from hits can ignite you. Let's break down that last line because a lot of people have been confused by it. What it means is that it is removing the inherent inability of non-fire damage to ignite. So when an enemy hits you, if they hit you for cold damage, normally that will potentially inflict chill or a freeze, but it will have no chance of inflicting ignite. This is changing that so that that cold damage is as capable of igniting you as it would be if it was fire damage. So it's a pretty significant increase in your chance to be ignited overall. Then 25% chance to be ignited means that enemies will stay at 100% if they critically hit you. So if they critically hit you for, say, lightning damage, that's always going to ignite you. And then if they non-critically hit you, the chance to ignite you goes from 0 base to 25%. Map mods can also be in play there, so if you've got the map mod that is a 20% chance for monsters to inflict elemental ailments, then their lightning damage is going to be 20% chance to shock, 20% chance to ignite, going up to 20 and 45%. So the next question you may have is, how do you mitigate all of this extra damage that you're going to be suffering? The best way to do this, and the endgame solution, is to wear a set of boots that have unaffected by ignite on them. This is an elevated influence mod, and it's very important that it says unaffected rather than immune. If you're immune to ignite, ignites cannot be inflicted on you at all. If you're unaffected by ignite, you can still have ignites applied to you, they just won't do anything. And that's a big difference when it comes to Mokou's Embrace, because with Mokou's Embrace, if you're unaffected by it, you are still ignited, and so you are still getting that big increase in cast speed and attack speed. What do I think of this ring overall? It's sort of serviceable. It's one of those things that empowers a new build, but I don't think that build is going to be good enough. So I think it's just something that'll be a little bit of a fun toy. But that said, there are certainly a few things that synergize with being on fire, the hot-footed unique jewel and the like, so you can definitely play around with that, and there'll be at least a meme build, if not a good one. Lastly, this is really interesting in conjunction with the unique weapon, the Fulcrum. The Fulcrum reflects any ailments that you inflict on enemies back onto you, and so that means that you can pretty much guarantee having ignites on you almost all the time. The problem, of course, is you've then got to survive your own ignites, which are probably going to be instantly deadly levels. So then you also need unaffected by ignite. Hey, guess what? That goes really well with Mokou's Embrace, and Mokou's Embrace will appreciate both the increased attack speed and the increased cast speed, because a lot of these builds use movement skills to get around, use spells to actually do damage. So Mokou's Embrace and the Fulcrum is definitely something to consider in conjunction with a reverse chill setup potentially. Next up was a piece of less current news, and that was the backstory behind a Divination card. So I'll put a link to that down in the description below. It's not 3.19 specific, so if you're interested, go and check it out. This Divination card is about Nurse Rarity, and it drops from a number of indoor cave theme maps, so things like Crystal Ore. Finally, we have a Divination card called Something Dark. This grants a blueprint that is area level 83 and is fully revealed. Blueprints are actually pretty rare in Path of Exile, something like 150 times as rare as a map. So if you run 100 maps, you'll probably get maybe 400 map drops and maybe 2 2/3 blueprint drops. So this is something you won't see very many of, I don't think. And the other thing that's a big deal with it is that it is fully revealed. The only way to get fully revealed blueprints dropping normally is in conjunction with the Casing the Joint node on the Atlas passive tree. Snuggle caches in your maps have a 100% increased chance to drop blueprints. I suspect this takes it from 8% to 16%. I'm not absolutely certain on those numbers. And then blueprints that drop in your maps have a 10% chance to be fully revealed. So with this, you're looking at about a 1.6% chance every time you open a smuggler's cache for that to drop a fully revealed blueprint, about 1 in 60 smuggle caches. Now you can get a number of smuggle cache increasing nodes on the tree, and realistically, if you do spec a bit into Heist, you'll probably find one smuggler's cache in about every 6th map. and then only 1 in 60 of those is going to drop a fully revealed blueprint. So about 1 in 360 maps will drop it. Additionally, you can get them from monsters as well, and those are pretty rare too. So you're looking at not getting very many of them if you do spec into them, but they will drop. I'm expecting that something dark will be something similar. Maybe this will be a nurse rarity card, maybe it'll be a little bit rarer, maybe it'll be a little bit more common, but I don't think this is going to be common. As for its value, fully revealed blueprints, if they roll a gem one, which is 2 in 9, they tend to be well over an exalted orb, often as much as 2. If they roll something that's not gems, then they tend to be in the half an exalt to an exalt range, and sometimes a little bit less. But then there's all of the trade arbitrage that's involved. I think this will be somewhere in the 10 to 15 chaos range most leagues. Anyway, that's all we've got today. May your Volibs have interesting results, and I will see you around.